Okay, it's Wednesday morning. I'm down here at the Los Angeles Convention Center in downtown Los Angeles for the 2021 LA Auto Show Automobility event, which is the press preview days for the LA Auto Show. So I'm down here. It's a two-day event. I'm not sure if I'm able to make it down tomorrow as I have to pick up the kid early from school. We'll see about that. And I believe all the booths and everything are open today. Also, today is when they do all the unveilings of a lot of the new cars, a lot of the concept cars and things like that. Of course, there's a lot of electric stuff here. There's also Bronco. There's like a whole Bronco display, and I believe they even have Bronco test track drives and things like that. So I'm going to be looking for that a little bit later on. And lots of exciting stuff here to see. So without further ado, let's go check this one out. And we just got in the doors here at the LA Auto Show for the press preview days. And you can see here, this is the Fisker booth. They're actually going to unveil the car here in a few, the Fisker Ocean, which they already unveiled last night, I guess, at a thing in Redondo Beach. So I don't know how that works out. So they're going to unveil it again. But I'll try to come over here when they do that. Unfortunately, it does get kind of crowded. I can't show the entire reveals of these cars. Usually those videos are online of the whole thing. You can look it up if you want to watch like 10 minutes of them talking about the car. I'll just show the actual car, cut right to the chase. So we're going to start over here at Toyota and a Tundra. Actually, my next door neighbor has pretty much this exact truck in that color. Of course, the Toyota pickups are very popular, and fortunately at this Toyota booth there's no music because I had to cut footage out of my SEMA video since they had music playing in the background, and it was the only thing. The first time I uploaded it, it got flagged for. So here's one of their NASCAR trucks. I realize most of my videos are generally of older cars, classics and such. We are doing Radwood on Saturday, so I'll be filming that. I am still debating whether to drive to Palm Springs to film the Friday the auction. The auction's this whole weekend, but I'm still debating whether to drive out there just to shoot the Friday, to shoot all the cars at the auction out there at the McCormick's. There's a lot of gas to get out there just to shoot a video, come back, and I still have to prepare my Fox body for the show on Saturday, so that might be a tad much this week after shooting this. This is the Platinum Edition Tundra. I believe this show opens to the public this Friday and goes through Thanksgiving weekend. Actually, they have the truck that I had to cut the footage out of from SEMA, so I'll be able to bring you that without any music in the background in this video. But if you haven't watched the SEMA video, check that one out. That one actually did really well for the channel. A lot of people seem to like me shooting it as kind of like a day at SEMA. You can see some of the pickups. I'm going to go over and show you the, what they call it, the Tacozilla. Like I said, when I tried to shoot this, I shot a short of it and that was fine. But when I shot it again, they had copyright music playing in the background. And unfortunately I had to go back, edit it out, and then re-upload the whole video again. But it's got that vintage 70s, early 80s camper vibe. Anyone remembers the old Toyota campers are there, like the Dolphin, and I think a couple other companies. I'm not sure, did Chinook do Toyotas? I can't remember, but there were several companies that did them. I'll show you this. Fortunately, they don't have it very well lit right now.
I wouldn't leave that to my family.
There's a lifeguard vehicle from LA County. If you remember back in the 80s, was it Nissan? They used the hard bodies, and they had them all over the commercials and, of course, on Baywatch. And one popped up at an auction that was in pretty rough condition, but I couldn't make it down to the auction. I think it was one of the original run of like Nissans that they did back in like 85, 86. But there's that. At some point this morning, there's supposed to be, they're announcing the North American car, or the Car of the Year nominees at some point in here very soon. So have a look at the Supra with the sport top, sort of like a Targa top. As well as the regular Supras. And I'm very certain I cannot fit in that car, so. I'll show you the Toyota Rhombus concept electric vehicle, complete with a center cockpit there.
I will. I'll take a look at that.
And some of their little electric accessories, wheelchairs and such. There's the new Lincoln Corsair. Now, what car did Ford Motor Company use the Corsair name on first? That's right, the 1958 Edsel Corsair. So that name is actually recycled from Edsel, as is Ranger and Pacer, although that became an American Motors product. And Citation, which became a Chevrolet product later on. But Ford actually used Ranger, and they also used Villager, the Mercury Villager, and I believe they have a Lincoln Villager. No, they have the Mercury Villager, which was a Edsel station wagon. So, but yep, Ford originally used the Corsair name on an Edsel, one of their lesser well-received products. So it's a little bit of automotive trivia for you. This guy is filming for Fox, so I'm not going to bother him. And actually, the Fisker, you can see the media set up there in the back. They're doing their unveiling here in about half an hour. I'm sure the entire thing, this is the new Lincoln Navigator. Not sure if this one comes with a bicycle, but remember when Volkswagen had their Jetta trucks that came with the bicycles? I'm going back a few years. If you do see one now, it'll probably wind up at Radwood, and we'll be at Radwood this Saturday. So if you happen to be there, say hi. Hyundai has an unveiling at 9:55. So these people are all lined up Waiting for that one. All right, this is the Xevas electric vehicle gallery. I believe they're going to do their own awards tonight. This is a concept car called the Canoe, C-A-N-O-O. It comes with its own skateboard mounted on the door. Sort of a microbus minivan, if you will. And the rest of the Xevas booth has Teslas, Tesla Model 3, a Tesla Model S, and a Tesla Model Y. So nothing exactly exciting there. If you live in Los Angeles, you've probably seen these on the street about 100 times a day. But we're going to come over, and it's a company called Mullen. They'll be doing an unveiling as well, so there's not much to show you yet there. I said a lot of electric vehicles, and of course we have the main stage where all the big stuff happens. And Hyundai has a fuel cell big rig. I'm not going to get too close to the main stage. They got music playing, and I've learned my lesson that even if it doesn't seem like copyright music, it often is, so we'll be avoiding that for now. And got the Ionic 5. Not sure if they have that one concept vehicle. Look at the taillights. This is like the very 80s looking taillights there. Not sure, they had that one concept that was like a, it was all over the internet. It looked like kind of like an early 80s Thunderbird in the front with similar block style taillights as that. But I'm not sure if they have that here or not. A lot of people thought it looked like an old K car, but if you saw it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is the new Silverado ZR2. Of course, Chevy trucks are so popular. The Z71 with the Duramax in it. And of course, they have the tailgate that comes down with the step. We actually had these when I worked at GMC, is when these came out, and GMC got it a year earlier than Chevy. And I remember they made a big deal of that. And a new Corvette Z06. I'm sure there'll be a line of these at your local Cars and Coffee coming up very, very soon. There's a Camaro Lt1. Their Camaro they have is a convertible base model. This one with the 6-speed in it. MSRP on this one is $39,975. It's much more affordable performance than the Corvette, as always a Camaro is. And we got another Corvette Z06 on a turntable. This guy is filming, I'm guessing, for overseas press.
Ouais, moi je suis déjà dedans à ce moment-là. T'as besoin des deux petites... Ah si, mais après toi ça te... Oui, tu vas venir au bord là comme ça? Oui, oui.
Remember how excited you were when you found out they were bringing back the Blazer? And how disappointed you were when you found out it looked like this? Yeah, me too. At least we have the Bronco. That's just my opinion. One thing I do like on Lexus is they still make a sedan, like this LS 500. And they're one of the few companies that still dares to sell a sedan and not just go all the way into crossovers and SUVs and the like. So and of course they do sell SUVs as well and crossovers, but hey, they still make a proper sedan. And this is a Lexus LC 500, custom built by Toyo Tires. It was an IS 500. Usually in the basement they do have classic cars here at the show, so if that is open, which I'm assuming it is today, I will get down there, and usually there's a lot of lowriders and a few classics tucked away down there as well. And here we have the Jaguar Land Rover booth.
Yes.
There's the Defender. The shape that's sort of a throwback to the old one. This is the booth for VinFast, which is, I believe, the first Vietnamese car company, or it's the first that's sold in the, going to be sold in the United States. And they'll be doing an unveiling a little later on. So I find this kind of interesting. They have Galpin, Honda, Volvo, and Mazda in a booth in one of the main halls here, which usually they don't have just individual dealerships running their own booths. The only thing I can think of is maybe Mazda, Volvo, and Honda don't have booths here this year, and just Galpin took it upon themselves to do their own. I'm not sure, so I'll be finding out. That's kind of unusual, because as many years as I've been coming to the show, I've never seen the dealership actually have a booth in one of the main halls with all the other manufacturers on their own, which is kind of odd. All right, so Nissan brought the Araya and the new Z car, which, if you look at styling, that goes back to the 1970s Z cars. And it's very retro. Here's another Nissan Z in blue. And just in case you didn't know where the inspiration came from, they've got a vintage 240Z here on display. This one's actually the property of Nissan North America. I missed the vintage Japanese car show a few weeks ago, unfortunately. But they have a lot of stuff like this out there. Looping back over to the Toyota booth, I haven't heard any of the unveilings starting up yet. And a couple of them I think are running a bit late. So we're going to show you some of the Toyota NASCAR vehicles.
Trying to fix it himself.
All right, so just to give you an idea of what happens during these vehicle unveilings, there's usually a lot of people crowded around, and they talk for a long time, and they actually wind up posting the entire thing with professional video angles and everything on their own website. So I'm not going to be doing these full video unveilings or these full unveilings of these cars. I will come back later after it's unveiled, and we'll show you the car. So that's how I'm planning to shoot this, but I'm just giving you a heads up right now. Oh, they are actually unveiling the car right now. So maybe we'll bring you this one. All right, let's see if we can get anywhere near it. There we go. I don't know if you can see on the screen there. This is the new Fisker Ocean.
So you can obviously see it's got a super wide band. We did that for maximum.
All right, so if you come to the LA Auto Show, usually you know that Cantia Hall, which is basically the basement, is where they have all the automobile aftermarket stuff. Generally, if there's any classics, they're down there, things like that, your stereo, audio stuff. It's actually closed for the press days, so I won't bring you that stuff, so I won't bring you like the lowrider displays and things they have there. Unfortunately, which I thought it would be open. And they said it won't be open actually until the show opens to the public on Friday. So, but it is there. I just won't be bringing it to you in this video. Show you some of the restored Porsches. So at least we have something vintage for you, at least on this video. As I mentioned before, this channel is primarily vintage vehicles, but I was able to obtain press credentials for the show, so I will go shoot it since this is a major event here in Los Angeles every single year, and I've been coming to this show since I was a kid. So yes, you're reading that correctly. You can now get a Shelby golf cart. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. So this is actually the Shelby GT350H golf cart. All right, so we did find a vintage car. We found a Messerschmitt Tiger. These are kind of rare. This is the four-wheel Messerschmitt car, and these are quite expensive. But it's part of this display by Topian, which they're showing this Aston Martin micro car. So it's sort of like a smart car, if you will, built by Aston Martin, of all companies. So this is part of the same display. This is the 1956 X Sonic, which is an old custom Corvette that was in magazines back in the day. It looks like it's one that's was found and is to be restored back to its glory days. This is a 1901 Sunbeam Mabley. This is the car that got everything wrong, which it kind of did if you look at it. If you like early cars, if you like brass era stuff, I know they're doing the holiday motor excursion, I believe the day after Christmas on December 26th. So I'm gonna try to make it over there to shoot that from where they take off from in Arcadia. This was an 1897 Lion Boyel. I don't know if that's the pronunciation. It's obviously French. I'm not sure if that's the correct pronunciation, or if I'm just making a fool of myself trying to pronounce it that way. But you can see it's a three-wheel, two-seat car, and from 1897. This is the Galpin Auto Sports room here at the auto show. They do this every year, so I'm going to show you what's here because they always have some really interesting stuff from the Galpin collection. We're going to start over here with the Porsches, and one year I shot this, and it was the only thing that got flagged for me at the auto show. They had a DJ in here, so, but always some interesting stuff. You got this Rin Speed 969, a 64 Porsche 901. Porsche always does a nice display over in the other hall, which I'm making my way over to right as we're filming all this. Every year they seem to put together a really nice display. It's a very nice speedster. This one's an old race car, 1960. This is a B1600 Coupe Super 90. It's like they've got old street signs covering up the holes, sort of like a ratty version. And here is a F-150, a newer one with a paint scheme very reminiscent of the 1970s. This one's called the Fox Hunt 2. Somebody left their water bottle in there. But complete with an airbrushed tailgate. And of course, the CB whip antenna. The old show car from the 60s. It's one of the old Ed Roths, I believe. They have a whole collection. They've got a lot of Ed Roths and original customs. If you go to Galpin and off the 405 freeway, they have like a little museum where they have a lot of that stuff on display. And they do a big car show there once a year. Of course, a Pantera. This looks like one of the Barris rods, right from the 70s. see with the toilet seat. Complete with a Hemi motor in there. This one has a bit of a psychedelic paint scheme. And when the light hits it at different angles, the Ford GT. And here's more of a Shelby that we're accustomed to and not a golf cart. This one's a GT 500. And a Lotus. Naturally, there's going to be some Broncos here, some old ones, some new ones. And you knew when the new Bronco was coming out that it was going to be popular for customization, so as stuff begins to hit the markets for those. This one's called the First Edition Sasquatch. And this one, the vintage Bronco, this was actually at SEMA, so it actually appears in my SEMA video. There's a lot of these little electric car manufacturers that are here, such as this one's called Solo, like Han or the Cup, you decide. But little electric three-wheel cars. Not sure if they're currently available. But these are neat because on a three-wheel, I don't know how fast these go, but on a three-wheeler you can actually go in the carpool lane in California. And on a three-wheeler, you can drive them with a car license in California. You don't need a motorcycle license. And these are things I know. And I got music in the background, so I'm going to walk the other way. So this company's called Cobra, not Cobra, because that would get them sued. It's actually, it looks like a Shelby Cobra, obviously, or an AC Cobra. But these are fully electric. 600 horsepower. So I'm going to do a quick walkthrough on the Porsche display, and hopefully I won't have any problems. They do have music in this room here. They always do a nice display, so I'm going to have to try to talk over it as much as possible and hope YouTube doesn't flag it. So, but they always have a really cool display. Oh, sorry about that. At the LA Auto Show, including some of their race cars, such as this electric one. But sometimes if you shoot it fast, talk over the music, you get through it, and you still get to show this pretty awesome display. Looks like they have a little lounge here, including like a barista, and places for people to sit and mess around on their laptops. So it's a lot of motoring press here, as you can imagine. You check out the new Cayman, was a GT4 RS.
How was the power change different?
But I do like to bring as much of the show as possible, but often with music it's not
Well, thank you.
entirely possible. So, said every year Porsche is pretty much in the same spot. I mean, this is going back to the 1980s, that they're always in this little room off to the side. So that is this year's Porsche display, hopefully without any YouTube copyright problems. So I found myself over to the Stellantis section of the LA Auto Show. We're over in the West Hall now, by the way. I left the South Hall as I filmed most of the stuff over there that was of interest. I'll probably go over there after some of the cars are unveiled today, so we can get some clearer shots of those after the media has abandoned them to some extent. So we're going to start here. We're going to look at the Dodge Chargers and Challengers and Hellcats and things like that, such as this gray one. Let's have a look here. We have a SRT model Hellcat. So this one's called the Jailbreak Edition, starting at $79,000. And this direct connection drag car, this was actually at SEMA, so I know I briefly showed this in my SEMA video if you've watched that. And Mopar brought back the direct connection, which was their line of performance parts back in the 60s and 70s, I believe, into the 80s. This is the drag pack. So I don't know if this is one you can purchase for drag racing from Dodge. I suppose that's what that means. Of course, they've got their Hellcat Jeeps as well, and Durangos and everything else. See if there's anything interesting over here in the Jeep section. They actually have a separate area for the Wagoneer, the Grand Wagoneer.
One that's been paved.
And this one is the Grand Cherokee. And of course the Gladiators, which you either love these or you hate them, let's face it. Fortunately for them, enough people love them, and I believe they're actually doing quite well. This is a new Grand Wagoneer. Still waiting for the wood kit for these. But of course these are designed more to go up against the Suburban, your Escalades, your Yukon Denalis, all those type of vehicles, your Lincoln Navigators. Retro styling would have been nice though. Starting at $104,000. And of course they have the Alfa Romeo at the end of the Stellantis display. Including the Giulias. And Ford has this electric display over here, so Ford has their electric Mach-E. I'm not sure if you can drive it or if you ride in it with somebody else. Definitely needs a louder exhaust. Okay. But an electric Mustang. This is the 2021 Ford GT Heritage Edition. All right, they have a whole display of Mustang Mach-E's that have been customized, including this one's called the California Route 1 rear-wheel drive edition. Has a solar panel on the roof. And comes complete with a couple electric bikes on a rack on the back. And this car was actually at SEMA, this Mustang with the surfboards on the roof.
What do you guys most excited to see today? I just got here so far.
And of course the Shelby edition, not a golf cart again, thank God. And of course this one, no MSRP on that one, but I'm sure it's much more than I can afford. And a Roush edition Mustang as well. I guess we just missed the unveiling of this new Ford F-150 Lightning, which now the Lightning means it's an electric, whereas the old Lightning meant it had like a hopped up V8 in it. If you remember the old Ford Lightnings from the 1990s. But all the media people are wrapping up, and we can get to show you this after the crowds. Now we're going to show you some of the Broncos that are here. I'm not sure if it was, I think this one was at SEMA. I'm trying to remember now. I know they had the Maverick that was at SEMA, which I might have to show you because I think it's the only Maverick here. So I'll bring you that since I realize not everybody watched the SEMA video. And I can't get too close over that way because there's music playing. So that's probably why I'm talking a little bit faster right now. So this is the only new Maverick I've found here, and this is the one that was at SEMA. So if you watched that video, you've already seen it. If you didn't watch that video, well, you're seeing it for the first time. This is a customized new Ford Maverick, obviously not the old car from the 1970s, which I've owned two of, including both of them were actually on the channel at some point. This one built by Tucci Hot Rods. I would love to see a stock one here, but I haven't seen one yet. So for anyone wanting to see the Maverick, this is kind of what you're going to get today. So Ford has actually brought out like a whole line of performance stuff for the Bronco already, including final drive units and rear ends that are beefed up and things like that. Of course, you can get your spare tire covers for the back in various configurations. Your own Bronco tow rope. And of course roof racks and things like that. First aid kits, gloves, whatever you can think of, they've thought of, and they're ready to sell it to you as an accessory on your new Bronco. I'm going to bring you a few more of the Broncos, hopefully as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, Subaru's next door and they're cranking music, so I really need to make sure we're okay on that one. But these are the nicer Broncos. This one is the Outer Banks Edition four-door Bronco. I haven't seen any of these. I keep seeing the Sport on the street. I don't see any of the bigger Broncos yet appearing. No, actually I did see one. This is the Sport. This one was also at SEMA with the very 70s looking paint or tape stripe scheme on it. So this one's the freewheeling Bronco Sport. Not sure if that's a package or if it's just a one-off done for both SEMA and here at LA Auto Show. And here's a Bronco convertible. This one's the Badlands edition. One you can drop the top, go off-roading in, or roll around down by the beach, or whatever you want to do. And I think that's probably my favorite of the Broncos I've seen so far. All right, so Ram actually has this obstacle course set up. Actually, I found out the music's actually being played by Ram, and if you look at where they have the speakers, they're actually pointed right at the Broncos. So I'm wondering if they're doing that just to sabotage Ford, so no YouTube videos can be posted of their booth. That's my theory, at least, because I can't imagine any other reason to point the speakers directly at the Ford booth. That's kind of sneaky of them, but you can see they've got a whole thing. You can take a road course around different kinds of terrain. I'm sorry, I still call it Dodge Ram, so, because I have a Dodge Ram and I've owned 2 other Dodge Rams. Actually 3 other if you count my van, which is considered a Ram van. So, but you see over here, it comes up over that hill. Here comes one now. I can verify that these trucks will take a great deal more abuse than that. Ask me how I know. So, I know my 2004 Ram took quite a beating in the time that I owned it, and it kept on doing what it needed to do. So it's got the Cummins in it. And this, believe it or not, is Subaru's display, and it's National Park themed, which I believe they did something similar last time, 2 years ago in the 2019 show. You can see they even have a bridge up top there to view. I don't know a whole lot about Subarus, except like most of my neighbors have one for some reason. So there is that. So, and I'm hoping this music, whatever this audio is, isn't copyrighted, or I'll have to not use this video, but floor is lava, floor is lava. Okay. And I'm assuming a car pops up on the center there. Alright, so I will show you some of the WRX stuff. I'm hoping I was able to bring you that stuff from in there, because I don't know if they use one of those like Ocean Sounds tracks, which some of those are actually copyrighted, believe it or not, even though they're not actual music. You learn all this stuff after you've been dealing with YouTube copyright long enough. But trying to get over there, I'll show you some of the rally cars. Of course, Subaru does a lot of rally cars and WRXs and things like that. You can see more of the booth over there. It's very crowded in there, and I think they're going to do the display very soon. Show you one of the Hoonigan cars. This one's from the Gymkhana 2020 video. If you haven't watched the Gymkhana videos, they're worth a look, because they do some pretty amazing driving in those videos. I'll do a quick walk around the Kia booth. They actually have a press conference coming up, so they're already setting up for that. And they've got all sorts of electric as well as gas-powered vehicles here. And of course, one of their off-road rally vehicles. As I said before, if you want to see the actual unveilings of all these vehicles, generally the manufacturers post them on their YouTubes after the fact with like multiple camera angles and everything else. So that's why I'm not just going to sit there and shoot it for 10 minutes. I shoot my videos more of like a day at the Automobility LA Auto Show event here. So those videos are out there for you to watch. All right, so I'm going to go on the Bronco ride here, and you can see they have a vintage Bronco on display, as well as I had to sign a waiver for this, so let's see how good it is. Some of the accessories you can get for your Bronco, as well as of course you get stuff for overlanding and camping and things like that. I'm going to try to show you quickly exactly what I'm getting into. It looks like Baxter Street in Echo Park, if you've ever done that, Baxter Street in Echo Park. But basically an obstacle course with the grand finale being this. I'm going to try to do this clip as quickly as possible because there's music playing, but I'm doing this for you guys, so here we go. Okay, we're doing the obstacle course in the Badlands 4-door. You can see it's got a screen. It should show you exactly where the tires are on this narrow ramp.
Helps not having to hang your head out the window or have a spotter.
Yeah, it's also good when you're parking. So we're going over here. You can see the obstacle course.
Next thing we're going to show you is our little side hill here. So this is at 22 degrees. I'll basically we're showing you how stable they are at that 22 degrees.
Okay.
What's really cool too is it even displays on the dash.
This is on the dash there?
Yep. 22 degrees. We're actually at a 2-degree incline as well.
Okay.
Yep. So these right here is what we call the hero buttons because they do make you feel like you're a hero. What we're going to show you here is the turn assist. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on that button.
All right.
And what this does is it basically helps you not have to do a 3-point turn in any kind of tight scenario. And what it does, it's going to lock up this right rear inside tire. So we're going to come in here. I'm going to go full lock of the steering wheel. You're going to feel this tire lock up.
Yeah.
Come on, sand.
You won't get stuck in the sand dunes.
Yeah.
You go over to Pismo.
Yes, exactly.
Unlike certain vehicles on the Lemons Rally in 2019.
Correct. And then so this is the twist stitch. So I'm going to turn on the front and rear lockers again.
All right.
Back on that trail camera, helping
Okay, you
us.
can see exactly where you are on the wheel there.
So you can feel this left rear inside tire. It's about off the ground 4 inches or so right now. And we're going to come up on here, and you're really going to feel it come off the ground.
Okay,
So that's
there you
about
go. That's
6,
off the
8
ground.
inches.
Yeah.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit that stay bar disconnect button.
Okay.
What that's going to do is unlock the stay bar. And you can feel
There
it
you go.
relax
Comes
and
down.
settle. Now all 4 wheels are back on the ground, and that's the goal.
All right.
And what's really cool about this feature is this is something you want on the freeway. So if you do forget to turn that off, it will turn itself back on after 20 miles an hour. So if you go over that, it'll turn it back on by itself.
Yeah, so we're going back over here. You can see see how narrow it is.
Okay, so this is the start of Bronco Mountain. It's about 42 degrees. We are going to turn on those front and rear diff, but I also am going to turn on the trail assist. The trail control, sorry. Trail control. And what this is like a slow cruise control. So right now I have it set at 3 miles an hour.
Okay.
I don't have my foot on the brake, don't have it on the gas, nothing like that. I'm just letting it do its thing.
Now, this is quite an incline. I know it might not come through in the video, but
Yeah.
I'd say it's worse than Baxter Street and Echo Park, so I will say that.
Welcome to the top of Bronco Mountain.
Okay.
What's cool is you can't really see what's in front
No,
of us,
you
right?
can't
It could be a
see.
cliff if
Yeah.
only, you know. So we can go back to that
Go to
front
the
bumper
camera there, and there it is. It
There's
shows
your
you
confidence
exactly.
right there.
Yep.
And another cool feature is the engine braking. So I'm going to go into manual first gear. I'm going to go down with no foot on the brake.
Okay.
So no foot on the brake whatsoever. And you can just feel it controlling its descent.
Yep. If you live on Baxter Street, you need one of these.
Yeah.
I will say that.
Just like that.
Okay. That is the Bronco tour here.
Yes.
Smart. And then also.
All right, so I'm going to show you something because, you know, you always got to sneak in scooter content when I can. So there's a 3-wheel scooter truck, but it's electric, so it's sort of in the spirit of the Piaggio Ape or a Bajaj 3-wheeler as well. These are made in India. Not sure. I talked to the guy. He says they're not produced by Bajaj, although they're very similar ones that are. Although theirs are not electric. Those are gas powered. Of course, the older ones being 2-stroke, and then they also make 4-stroke versions of those. These are actually going to sell here as a place to mount your phone, and it is a 3-wheeler called. This company's called Automobility Electric, and the other models actually got solar panels on it, so probably be good for like local deliveries or even around like large warehouses and things like that for moving various items around. If you look, it has the perch would be for a clutch on a one of the non-electric ones, one of the gas-powered ones. So I'm assuming those handlebars may be from a Bajaj as well. But just had to show it because it's sort of scooter related, and we got that, and just taking a little break after going on that wild Bronco test drive. All right, so now it's a little later. It's long after the unveiling. We can show you the Fisker Ocean, the one they unveiled earlier.
See, mine is like supposed to be like 40 or 50 miles.
Of course, a lot of the hoopla has died down. I'm going to show you the chassis of the Fisker Ocean. So you can see they keep everything pretty compact. Motor in the front, motor in the back. I'm guessing the batteries lay under the floor there. Alright, so I'm going to show you the Hyundai 7 concept, which they've already unveiled. So, fortunately they've got camera crews all over it, so I'll bring it to you as much as I can. These guys are actually going to do some sort of an interview. You can see how the lighting works on the front of the car. Naturally, it is a concept car. There's lighting on the sides.
Send us some food. I coordinated it.
On the back, maybe I can show you some more of it. See, the dashboard's got the long touchscreen display on it. Sorry about that. All right, so this car is called the Lucid. I looked it up. It's just the Lucid. It's not manufactured by any other company. They just rolled this in here like 2 seconds ago. Try to go around where I don't get into anybody else's shots here. Kind of neat. It has almost like a stainless steel looking top, very reminiscent of like a 50s Eldorado Brougham, if you will. And it's got a, of course, a glass top as well. I'm not sure if this is a production model or not. I'm going to show you the interior. It said it did roll in here on its own power, so there is that.
Smaller. I mean, it looks big.
Get a shot of the front here. Okay, folks, they just unveiled the Barbie car, Barbie Extra, which I guess has its own matching doll. Something you only see at the LA Auto Show. Thank goodness for that. Not sure exactly what this is. Are they going to sell cars?
I'm just so confused.
Okay. You take selfies with your doll and drive your Barbie car, I suppose. Of course, this lady's getting a lot of attention with her Barbie doll. Not sure why Mattel didn't do a Hot Wheels display instead, but okay. And that is definitely something completely different from what I expected here at the LA Auto Show, but a full glitter Barbie car. Okay, so here's the story behind the Barbie car. So it's actually obviously a large version of the small Barbie Extra doll, that Barbie car that I guess is only available at Walmart. So that's why it's kind of like a promotion for Barbie and Walmart. Obviously not an actual car they're going to sell for street use. So gonna wrap that up for you so you know exactly what it is we were looking at. Not that I'm really entirely sure myself. All right, came back to the Subaru booth to show you. This is the 2023 Subaru Solterra Electric. So it's electric Subaru, which I believe was also the name of a breakdancing movie back in the 80s, wasn't it? Electric Subaru. So anyhow, here it is, without all the people crowded around it. And that's kind of what we missed. Or not really missed, because it's right here. Or is it? And continuing with the tradition of filming the new cars after they're already unveiled, so we can actually get to them to film them. This is, I guess, what Kia unveiled. So, and this one is in the Guinness Book of World Records for something or other. So, not sure why. I'll have to figure that one out for you. And that's what was unveiled here. And I'm actually in the Guinness Book of World Records. I have a world record on a pinball machine. That's actually a true story. I actually read the thing without getting in anybody else's shop. It's actually got the world record for the shortest charging time of an electric vehicle to cross the United States. That's what it's got the world record for. I still have the world record on the Kings and Queens pinball machine from 1963, so check that one out. I'm actually in the 2006 Guinness Book of World Records. That's actually true. Well, we're at the Art Center booth, which of course is out near me, out in Pasadena, California. And this is a concept that the Art Center students did for Lincoln, for what they envision a Lincoln looking like in 2040. So it's sort of like a sleek coupe, if you will, with no windows, because why not? ever been out there? They do a great car show there every year, like a concourse event that's like invitation only. And they get some pretty amazing stuff out there for that. And they open up, you can go in and look at a lot of the concepts and a lot of the drawings and a lot of stuff that the students are doing at Art Center.
The Model 5 EV crossover.
So this is the Mullen.
What do you think?
Really?
Strikingly different, right? Sleek lines, exceptional performance, and thoughtful touches went into every detail of the Model 5.
All right, so we caught part of the Mullen press conference there, just enough to you can see what an unveiling looks like. This is the Edison Future Company, and they're going to unveil one of the vehicles. One of them's already out of the cover there. And it's called Edison Future because Edison Past would mean they just copied somebody else's work and took credit for it. So about 5 of you get that joke. All right. This is the van they're making. I believe I saw online, I might be wrong, I think Ford owns part of this company. I'm not quite 100% sure though. And I'm really hoping that music doesn't hit my copyright. I'll try to bring this to you if I can, but just one of the electric vehicle companies that's unveiling their new wares here at the LA Auto Show 2021. All right, so I stepped outside for a couple minutes, and you can see the Jeep has their own little obstacle course. This is outside where you don't even have to go in the auto show. And then Volkswagen way over there that you can take a ride in one of their little electric cars that they make, even though they didn't have an actual Volkswagen booth inside. And their hill doesn't look to be as tall as the Bronco one that I went on earlier for you guys. But kind of get an idea what's going on even outside of the LA Auto Show here. So we have this Jeep going up over. All right, so it's the towards the end of the day here of the first day of the press days at the LA Auto Show. There are a few more unveilings going on inside later on, but I'm a little worn out and I've been here for 7 hours already. So I think VinFast is one of them, and I can't remember the other ones. I realize this wasn't really a classic car video, which most of my videos are, and unfortunately the garage down in the basement area was closed, where they usually have like the lowrider displays and the classic car displays. Unfortunately, that was not open for the press preview days, which I didn't know until today when I got here. But I've got plenty of other classic car coverage on the channel that's hopefully you'll like. Also, we're doing Radwood, which is all 80s and 90s vehicles this Saturday, so that video will be coming up. Hopefully by Sunday I'll get it up. Look for either Saturday night or Sunday for that to be up, as I try to get those up as quickly as possible. Hopefully my anti-shake was okay on the camera this time. Last time I think on the SEMA video I bumped the anti-shake button, so it was a little shaky. Hopefully this time the settings came out a little bit better than that. And if you like what you see, be sure to like, be sure to subscribe, tell me what your favorite car was here, and until next time, I'll be seeing you.